Hello, after a long break, I'm back to the Arena of Honor and the continued fight for the crown. Today I present to you the second match of the second season, this time in our favorite place, under the banner of House Lannister. What can I say? My face showed anger many times, but it's something I had no control over. The final result was determined by persistence and fighting until the end, although it was close. But if you want to see the final result and the path to it, you have to watch this material. I invite you to watch. After a meeting within my group, we came to the conclusion that the plan of waiting and expanding the second line when we get to know the opponents in watchtowers is the most effective. That's why we waited patiently before expanding, and after getting to know our opponent, we already had the first point of our plan out of the way. Here, the opponents also decided. If they were also ready to go the same way, we had a plan B for it, but we didn't have to use it, which doesn't mean that we did as well as we would like. What? Alright, I see. We haven't fully built the cavalry camps yet, but the difference is colossal. Admit who put steroids in their meals. Since our castle cavalry can't cope, we need to support them with a dragon. Dragon Pit Takeover is child's play with a plus 500% bonus. Just try it. Since my late raid didn't reach its destination, I was able to run around the map. I decided to visit the Dragon Pit, for which there was a fierce fight in the north of the map, but I hit a solid wall. Solid bleed synergy with Kevin's support is not what I wanted to see. Sonara giving spam to normal attacks, re-adding a bleed effect, Lero giving critical attacks, Kevin adding a shield to normal attacks. We could just replace Lat's Karin with Barrett. But this is not a required change because Lat's Karin increases the attack of infantry from which bleeding damage is counted, while Barrett increases the amount of bleeding. A pretty solid concept, and perfectly adequate to keep my spearmen entertained. And by entertainment I mean surrender and escape from the battlefield. Cowards, they should fight to the last stick in their hands. Our joyful run around the City of Glory ended when the infantry hit my allies' spears. Strangely enough, despite the solid-looking formation, there is no bleeding synergy here. Rhea is gone. I wouldn't call this lineup any kind of synergy, and if I had to, it would be spam synergy. Yes, Sonara can lengthen reports nicely, which has its pros and cons. In this setup, instead of Andrea, I would see Rhea, who will support the infantry much better than Andrea, who is simply weak without her exclusive weapon. At that moment, I knew our entire elaborate plan had gone out the back door. Watchtowers and catapults have been significantly strengthened, or clan castles have been weakened. One of two. This is not what I was counting on. But these are the facts. Although there is also a third option where the strength of the castle army depends on the average rank, which is also likely because previous takeovers were at higher ranks than we are now. We did not include this in our plans. Corrections need to be made for this. In order to stay on the podium and secure at least a few points, I recommended that we take over the Maiden's Altars. My first hit, and I hit a synergy weakness. Apart from the fact that Miranda is not fully awakened, she shouldn't be here at all without her exclusive weapon. The same case as before with Andrea. Increasing attack or defense depending on the number of cavalry is pointless in the long run. I can understand Goral's presence, as reducing the enemy's defense is always a plus, but his awakening only works on regular attacks. Once Drake starts healing successively every 5 seconds, Goral stops lowering the target's defense. But before this happens, the defense will already be lowered by several percent, which is always welcome. Murphy's Law came into play in this match. If anything could go wrong, it did. Despite a well-thought-out plan that went perfectly, we encountered the malice of the system. Our castle cavalry was unable to break through the NPCs protecting the towers and catapults. We were close to second place, but the hopes we put into these 6 system buildings were definitely in our throats. We will have to play future matches differently, but September will be a month of real fun. For me anyway. But that's not what this movie is about. The 500% bonus to total health, attack and defense is still active, so the problem with capturing certain buildings is eliminated by itself. This gives much more room for maneuver, unfortunately not only for us, but also for everyone else. The point of contention is the fight between spearmen and infantry. I have a decent basic attack, But I still can't even take on the gauntlet against infantry. The impact of the counterattack is very large, and I will have to gradually eliminate it by increasing my support point this season. We have a lot to improve. Taking third place for the second time is not so tragic. We started the first season worse, much worse. In this match, as I mentioned a moment ago, we did not expect any resistance from the buildings, but it showed me another path that we hadn't tried yet. The stakes are high and the rewards are worth taking part in. Thank you for today, and see you soon.